For years, Last Man Standing glued families to their screens every Friday night with warm laughs and familiar faces, turning living rooms into a cheerful clubhouse where everyone felt welcome. Conversations the next day at school or work often began with a grin and a quote from Mike Baxter, proof that the sitcom had slipped into everyday life. The cozy spell shattered when key actors vanished one after another, and the replacements never clicked quite the same way. Parents who relied on the show for easy family bonding suddenly faced puzzled kids asking why their on-screen friends had disappeared, and message boards went wild hunting for answers. After a long break from television, Tim Allen stormed back in 2011, yet his return almost never happened. He had already waved away huge deals that promised $1 million each episode, worried they would trap him in tired routines. Show creator Jack Burdett pictured Mike Baxter as a seasoned version of Tim the Toolman Taylor, and Allen wanted no part at first, saying no 3 different times. What flipped the switch was a deal that handed him real power, star billing plus an executive producer chair that let him guide every storyline. This creative freedom became the fuel for everything that followed because Allen was eager to poke at hot-button topics that other network comedies tiptoed around. He knew a little controversy could keep viewers buzzing, and he was right. ABC dreamed a modern All in the Family, placing a plain-spoken conservative dad at the dinner table and inviting his wife and daughters to push back on every opinion. Executives slid the series into Friday, a slot known as a ratings graveyard, yet Allen's charm lured a staggering 13.2 million viewers on premiere night, ABC's best comedy opener in years. The show instantly crushed its time block and ruled with a prized 18 to 49 crowd, an unbelievable win for any Friday lineup. Across 6 seasons, the numbers stayed strong, averaging more than 8 million eyes every episode, even beating high-profile midweek shows that enjoyed better promotion. Advertisers loved the dependable audience, and insiders whispered that the program was printing money for the studio. But the bigger shock inside the studio was how many familiar faces had already slipped away before that decision landed. Back in Season 1, Alexandra Krosny played Kristen Baxter, Mike's eldest who became a mom at 17 and juggled waitressing while living with her parents. Krosny blended sass and heart, trading lightning-fast quips with Tim Allen and pouring real emotion into Kristen's uphill battle. Yet right after the rookie year, ABC announced Krosny was out, claiming creative differences, though backstage whispers told a richer story. Producers believed Kristen needed a look and sound older to stand toe-to-toe with her dad during policy debates, and that called for a fresh face. They hired Amanda Fuller, whose age fit the birth order better since Krosny was actually younger than Molly Ephraim, who played middle sister Mandy. The makeover reset the family dynamic, letting writers mine new jokes about parenting styles, work stress, and a generational gap. During that same first run, Nick Jonas popped up as Ryan Vogelson, Kristen's runaway boyfriend and baby daddy, in a Christmas episode designed to grab holiday headlines. His 19-year-old Ryan was nervous and clueless, labeled a numbskull who bailed on his kid, and while the cameo lit up social media, the character was paper-thin and soon vanished. Season 2 arrived with showrunner Tim Doyle, who refused to leave Ryan as a punchline. He craved a sharper foil who could duel with Mike on everything from climate change to parenting tactics. So in walked Jordan Masterson with a total makeover. This new Ryan was bright, bold, and ready to argue values, handing the Baxters a resident progressive who stirred every dinner table debate. Ryan kept evolving as writers realized that watching him clash with Mike was comedic gold. He went from a struggling dad to the owner of a booming cannabis shop named Best Buds, and the show had endless fun when success nudged him toward the very capitalism he once mocked. Seeing Mike laugh at Ryan's accidental hypocrisy became audience candy. While storylines grew, storm clouds gathered off-screen. In May 2017, the network dropped a bomb by canceling the sitcom despite its healthy numbers. Only 2 months earlier, Allen had joked on late-night television that being a conservative in Hollywood felt like living in 1930s Germany, a line that set social media ablaze. ABC President Channing Dungey insisted politics played no part, explaining the network wanted fantasy and science fiction on Fridays instead of comedies. Yet many viewers smelled something fishy. Cast members shared the heartbreak online. Alan tweeted that he felt blindsided. Nancy Travis thanked loyal viewers for 6 wonderful seasons. And Hector Elizondo hinted during an interview that network politics might be the hidden villain. Younger stars such as Molly Ephraim and Caitlin Dever scrambled for new roles. Thinking the story was finished for good, audiences refused to quit. Within 24 hours, a petition to revive the sitcom rocketed past 400,000 signatures, and Twitter exploded with the tag "Save Last Man Standing." Supporters mailed toy tools to ABC offices, echoing Mike Baxter's handyman vibe, while others rented billboards in Los Angeles and New York demanding the giant network bring their beloved series back. Online hashtags were only the start. Radio hosts urged callers to flood network lines. Media analysts soon revealed that chatter about the canceled comedy now beat buzz for many primetime dramas still airing. Such free publicity made executives rethink their choice, because passion at that volume rarely fades quietly. Fan conventions felt the surge. Lines for cast autographs doubled, and parents thanked actors for sparking kitchen table talks about life and values. Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker loudly hinted that the studio decision might have been a political hit job. ABC paid roughly $3 million every single week because the entire series was owned by 20th Century Fox. Add Tim Allen's $200,000+ paycheck, a veteran cast, union crews, and soaring soundstage rent, and the ledger looked brutal for accountants who were hunting new ways to trim costs. In a twisting bit of irony, Fox finally kept the series in-house and on 11 May 2018 trumpeted a dramatic comeback that stunned the industry. The gamble was gigantic, yet the potential payoff glittered like gold. Producers hunted savings everywhere, from tighter shooting schedules to digital effects that replaced costly location days. Then the pandemic slammed the brakes. Mandatory testing, protective gear, and revised set layouts ballooned the budget even further. Because travel restrictions made guesswork risky, writers stitched entire stories inside familiar living rooms and the store's break room, turning safety limits into cozy character moments that viewers adored. The payoff was massive and immediate. The maiden season on Fox averaged a rock-solid 8 million viewers, outdrawing many primetime thrillers with 10 times the promotion budget, and the opening night alone roared out a gate with blockbuster numbers that left skeptics silent. Advertisers lined up, thrilled to reach a multi-generational crowd that actually watched live instead of skipping commercials. Yet a fresh headache hammered the casting office. When ABC dropped the curtain in 2017, Molly Ephraim, who brought Mandy Baxter's bubbly energy, believed the party had truly ended. So she leapt into prestige gigs like Brockmire opposite Hank Azaria and the period drama Halt and Catch Fire, locking her schedule tight for years. By the time Fox sounded the revival horn, Ephraim's calendar was sealed shut, so the producers embarked on a coast-to-coast search for a brand-new Mandy. They refused to hire a mere look-alike. They chased fresh chemistry, and after dozens of callbacks, they chose Molly McCook, whose height, hair, and comedic rhythm were completely different from the original. Social media erupted in shock when McCook first strolled across the Baxter living room in Season 7, and angry viewers pushed the hashtag #NotMyMandy into trending territory within hours. McCook refused to crumble, flipping the uproar into fuel, sharpening Mandy's fashion dreams, and leaning into the character's sweet but stubborn romance with Kyle to carve out her own identity. Scripts grew bolder once the shock faded, digging into pregnancy anxieties, small business stress, and generational clashes, and McCook's tear-soaked scenes with Tim Allen melted many critics. Caitlin Dever faced a crossroads just as steep. After the first cancellation, she gambled on film work, landing Catherine Bigelow's Detroit, where she drew rave reviews. Momentum rocketed when she co-led Booksmart and then headlined the Netflix drama Unbelievable, snaring Golden Globe and BAFTA nods that pushed her into the hottest rising star stratosphere. Her calendar soon resembled a mosaic of overlapping shoots, leaving only narrow windows to play Eve Baxter. New health rules required 14 days of isolation for each guest slot, so writers structured entire chapters around the rare weekends she could fly to Los Angeles, turning Eve's brief appearances into mini events that spiked viewership. In Season 8, that meant just 2 visits, and in the farewell run only 3, including the emotional finale. Sending Eve to the Air Force Academy explained her absences logically, while clever video calls kept her face on the family laptop during game nights and holiday dinners. Dever stayed fiercely loyal, though 2 planned Eve-centric plots in Season 8 had to be scrapped when another production locked her into overseas shooting. Then in May 2020, Fox shocked everyone yet again, announcing that the 9th season would be the last. Even though the show still averaged more than 8.3 million viewers and ranked as the network's second hottest comedy, fans, still riding high from the revival victory, felt blindsided all over again. Producer Kevin Abbott later admitted they had already mapped an ambitious 10th season that would crown Kristen as boss of Outdoor Man, now rebranded Outdoor Woman, exploring what happens when a modern mother steers a legacy business and clashes with her dad's old-school instincts. Creative notes also call for the return of fan favorites like Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Richard Karn, aiming to drop nostalgia bombs that link the series to Home Improvement and delighted longtime viewers who follow both worlds since the 90s. Network brass still crave one unforgettable stunt to anchor the farewell year. Abbott initially resisted, insisting the show shine brightest during small family squabbles, but writer John Howard's outrageous suggestion changed everything. Invite Tim the Toolman Taylor to cross paths with Mike Baxter in Colorado. The concept unlocked a treasure trove of possibilities, from shared backstory jokes to a dream sequence where the tool time set rises from storage, yet executing it was a nightmare. Disney owned every Home Improvement copyright, and legal teams argued over approvals, merchandising splits, and even wardrobe rights. Negotiations crawled until the 7th hour, with Abbott going so far as to threaten shooting without the contract to force movement. Only the night before the first table read did the final signatures land, clearing the crossover by the narrowest margin imaginable. Tim Allen set strict creative boundaries, demanding that Tim Taylor receive respectful treatment and a believable reason to visit Colorado. The writers rebuilt the episode 3 separate times to nail the emotional tone, protecting both men as distinct personalities while squeezing them into the same screen without confusion. Allen dove headfirst into preparation, binge-watching archival tapes, practicing Taylor's signature grunts in his trailer, and working with wardrobe to recreate flannel shirts in period-accurate patterns. Fans with eagle eyes later spotted nods to Wilson, references to lost episodes of Tool Time, and even a storyline update that revealed where Taylor's children had landed in adult life. The crossover aired mid-season and exploded on social media before the first commercial break. Critics called it a love letter to 90s sitcoms. Longtime viewers shed happy tears, and streaming numbers spiked for Home Improvement reruns as nostalgia fever swept across multiple platforms. Behind the numbers sat smart accounting. Fox's streaming pact with Hulu and CMT, worth about $1.5 million per chapter, covered nearly the entire increase in production expense, while international distributors in Australia and Europe paid fresh fees to air new seasons within 24 hours of the United States broadcast, creating an extra revenue cushion that kept studio bean counters happy. Fans never eased off the gas pedal once the last season started. Message boards tracked every plot twist, petitions demanded a spin-off starring Mandy and Kyle, and dedicated viewers even organized simultaneous watch parties across different time zones, so live ratings stayed sky high on Thursday nights. When the finale finally aired, filled with callbacks and a heartfelt porch scene, ratings surged again and social media lit up with gratitude posts. Many fans claimed the show's rescue during hard pandemic months had given their families a reason to laugh together, proving that the Baxter legacy stretched far beyond simple numbers on a chart.